tools have to work for us, and if the tool doesn't work and it doesn't make sense, then get rid of it. So I'm trying to think. So in a quick overview on Notion, it's give you a quick. It's all about being organized. Notion lets you get organized because you can create a lot of different ways to stay organized within Notion. It does a lot of things. If you've used Evernote before or Google Keep or any of those other note programs, those are good at just kind of basic notes. Notion takes it to the next level because you can do some database type things and set up some relationships and do some more work with it. I used Evernote for a lot of years, then switched over to Notion. I use Notion for my task calendar. I use it for my project management. I use it for keeping track of articles that I come across that I curate about different subjects. I use it for keeping notes from meetings, conversations, those type of things. I use it every single day, and it's been a game changer for me. But again, it's got to work for each of you. There's a free version and a paid version. I've been using the free version the whole time. It's worked really well for me, really flexible and very customizable about how you use it. But sometimes when things are really flexible and customizable, they have a little bit of a learning curve to get you up to speed so that it seems to make sense for you. If you don't get past that, then you tend to toss it aside, which is understandable. You can use this on your computer through a web app, or you can download it on your computer. You can also download it for free on Android or iPhone or any of your tablets or iPads. The apps are all free. Again, the idea is you have one username and password, and all your information is in there that you're trying to keep up with. All right. You can use it for to-dos, tasks, journals, notes, travel, projects, goals, manage collections, CRM, all kinds of things, right? All these different ways here. All right, so that's what it is on paper. So I'm curious, Lily, Leslie, and Linda, what would be a specific way you would use Notion that maybe we could tackle a little bit today?
I think you were showing when I tried it, when I took the first course, like doing your reading lists and stuff like that. So I did put in a bunch of books. I'm taking some classes through the college, and they always recommend books you can read. So that's what I'm doing that right now, putting that in what they offer and everything, so they're easier to find.
Okay, all right. So are you using the web clipper as well?
No, I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay, all right. So maybe I can talk about that. All right. So when you're getting these notes in a class or a session or something, are you just typing them in at this point?
No, I'm just kind of jotting it down as they're talking,
Okay.
missing half of it because they're more interesting to listen.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. All right. But you're manually putting the information in that you're capturing at this point.
Yeah, I'm doing, like the books, so I can catch
Yeah.
up with them later. It's not a
Okay.
requirement. It's like, it's extra reading if you want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay. All right. So kind of capturing that type of information, and we'll get into some webcap clipping as well. All right, Lily or Leslie?
I was just thinking, this may be simple, but I was thinking of moving some of my notebooks from Evernote. It can show, I don't know, whether is that just very straightforward? Is there nothing really to show?
Yeah, I could demonstrate that. Yeah, importing from Evernote. So if you have an Evernote account, Notion makes it really easy for you to kind of import selectively what you want out of Evernote into Notion. It's an import.
Okay.
So we could look at that today. That'd be good.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Kevin, this is Leslie. For me, it's
Yeah.
100% project management.
Project management. Okay.
Yeah, I have ideas and I have a lot of pieces. I have
Right.
graphics, I have everything, links, words, and I need a way to keep all of it and then not get distracted by the stuff I'm not currently working on.
Right. Okay, good. I love these are three really good ones. All right. We're going to do it from easiest to hardest. And it was kind of the way you gave them to me. So that's good. Freeman, anything that you have that you thought, hey, I wish could it do this or could it help solve this problem for me? Anything come to mind for you?
I am a novice completely, so I don't have
Okay.
any.
All right.
I usually use a spreadsheet
Okay.
in Excel to organize stuff.
Okay. All right. That tells me a little bit about you. So I can show you something that might intrigue you in Notion a little bit about that. So Yeah, I mean, we all work different, right? I mean, some people are very visual. Some people like the spreadsheet linear thing where that's really structured and you like that. Others, Leslie's probably got stuff all over the place and she's like, how do I make all this come together? It's just, I got all these pieces that they need to go together, but they all are disconnected. How do I bring them together? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Linda's got her stuff that she's starting to gather and like, what's the easiest way to get this in here so I can have it and use it? So, okay, good. So let's go that route as we go along through here. So the best point now in this advanced class is to kind of show you what this, actually open up mine and let's see if I go to, gotta make sure I'm, okay, let's go there. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here so you guys can see Notion. All right. I have the dark background turned on. When you first load it up, it has a light background, but can you guys see the dark okay? Or did you prefer to see it in a white background? Is it okay?
If it's not too much, I prefer to see it in white. If it's,
Anyway,
if it's,
yeah.
if
So
it
I'm just
opens
going to,
your eyes, it's not.
yeah. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going over here. I have multiple accounts in here and this is the one we're on right now. And I'm going to go to settings and members. And then down here, I'm going to go to settings in here. Where is it? Notifications and settings. There it is. Okay, notification settings. And under appearance, I'm going to toggle this back to light. Okay, now we're back in light. It's that simple. So same content, you just got a different background. But I ask because sometimes it's easier for you all to see there. Okay, the way Notion is set up, you have this menu on the left-hand side here. The top part's always the same. It always has whatever account you're in here. I've got several accounts that I can toggle to real quickly, but it tells you the one you're opening. Quick Find is, think of it as like Google search for all your things inside your Notion account, and everything is stored in the cloud and you're accessible to you. And you can, even if you forget where you saved something or filed it, you can hit Quick Find. When you hit Quick Find, it opens up this little thing. And if you're looking for, like something on travel, it pulls up, in this case, 1,375 results that I've got that have travel, not just in the title of a page or an article, but anywhere in the article or anywhere in the note, it would pull up and I could jump to it. So this is all my content. So Quick Find's really helpful for there. Update settings we just went into, and then you have favorites that you can put on top over here. You may favorite any page by clicking the star in the top right, and that puts it on, put it on the top. If I turn it off, it goes back off. So you can favorite this and you can reorder these. You can move these up and down, drag them up and down, put them in the order you want. Okay. So that is all customizable to you and only you see that. If you share a page or content with somebody else, that goes in the shared section and that'll be in there. And then everything else is private and you can decide how deep you want to build your organization, if you will. So these are all pages and you can put pages inside pages, inside pages, inside pages, inside pages as much as you want. And you can organize them any way you want. But these are kind of the highest level pages that I have. You can see by the little arrow next to it, if I go into my notebooks, I've got lots of pages inside those that can go on. I don't really typically go that way to get there. I typically would just click the notebooks and then over on the right-hand side, it opens up all my notebooks. I've made this page a 3-column page. And each one of these has pages inside of it. Most of this got brought over from Evernote. So that's how that is. And these are all pages here. Okay. So I have my task calendar in here. This is my task calendar. I have a dashboard that I've made. And here you can create links to go to other pages. Right. If you want to go to a journal page or my notebook, this takes me to that notebook page we just made. Right. These accounts are, habit tracker. This is a page I copied from somebody else. You can copy other people's pages and use this. I don't really use this. So I could, move this page into notebooks under fitness, which is probably what I should do because I don't need it to be on my high level page here. Brain dump. This is sometimes I don't know where to put something. So I just throw it into this page called brain dump and it's all in here. And then I can open it up and I could read it and I could move it. Let's see, here's Karaba's online order. Oh, it opens up in a browser, that one did. Most of these open up in a browser, these web page. You can see that. Notebooks we talked about. And so you can create these however you want as you go along. All right, so let's go. And I'm gonna show you the Clipper tool. So how would I use the Clipper tool? A lot of times in notebooks, here's my notebooks. I have a notebook for GetSetUp. I open up GetSetUp, and here is all of this information. All of this information is also the same. I favorited it. See, I starred it because I use this a lot. So that shows up here also. So multiple ways to get there. It's in notebooks, but I've marked it as a favorite so I can get to it real quick here. All right. Now inside here, I read a lot of articles and I want to find about the different classes I teach. So I have a page I created called GetSetUp Business and Entrepreneurship. When I click on this, it opens this up. Lily, yes.
Kevin, could you just give me the basic terminology? Like, what is the hierarchy? Like pages, notebooks? I mean, just give me the
It's good. Yeah. Evernote's really more structured, right? They've got stacks, notebooks, and notes. In Notion, you start with a page and then it's just whatever you want to do with it after that. Because in a page, you could have anything you want in a page, including other pages, links to other pages. So the structure is what you make it, right? So like I said, I made these all kind of pages. When I create a new page, it's going to add it to my list here. Watch, new page, right? This is a Kevin's new page, newest page, let's call it. That's the title of it. Okay, and I click off of it. It throws it down here on the bottom. Well, you don't want just a whole bunch of pages down here. You eventually want to start organizing those into something. So how do you do that? Let's say I want to put that in my dashboard. I could just pick this up and drag it up into right there, and now it's on my dashboard page. So when I click on this, right, it's down here at the bottom of that. Or if I click into it, when I scroll to the bottom, there it is. And I can move these anywhere. I mean, I can put it over here if I wanted it over here. But this is still the same page. So you can make this whatever you want it to be. So there's pages, and inside pages, you can create more pages and more content. If I go into this page again, I want to show you what can be inside this page, right? You can put tables, boards, lists, timelines, calendars, galleries, text, photos. This just
what is a notebook then? I mean,
excuse me.
So as a notebook, a bunch of pages?
I just called a page a notebook. I basically inherited the Evernote idea for this one page. So under notebooks, I just called the page notebooks. And then in here, these are all pages that have pages inside of them. For example, I had a bunch of recipes in a notebook in Evernote, and I imported that all that whole notebook into here as recipes. So when I open up recipes, right, it's going to load up here a second. I've got this in kind of a gallery view. So here's all these recipes that I brought in. And each one of these is a page. If I click on it, there's the recipe itself. So it's different than Evernote. I mean, think in pages, or a page is a record, or pages, anything you want to put in a page. And you can make pages go wherever you want them to be. They could be parts of other pages. They could be the top level page. They could be, a sub page to something else. You decide where they go and how you set that up.
Okay, so notebooks is really just you already said a carryover from the Evernote. So there is no such thing. There's no such thing as a notebook.
That's right.
Okay, that's very clarifying.
Yes. Yeah, unless you name it that, it's not going to show up.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Got
Every page is blank when you start in Evernote, or sorry, in Notion. So every page is blank until you give it a name.
And you can put pages within pages and.
Yes. Right.
Okay. All right. I think I'm. Okay.
And even in this recipe, this is an example here. So when you put a bunch of recipes together on one page, you basically created a database of recipes, right? And what Notion's nice about doing is it gives you different views of that. So this is what they call a gallery view. So each one of these recipes, it pulls the title of the recipe, and that's the name of the page. And then it grabs the first picture in that article and it puts that on the cover. So you have something to look at, which is a little more visual. But you could look at a list view. Here's the list view. It's kind of dull and boring, right? It's just the name of the page. And there's pictures inside of it, right? This guy's in here, but it's just a list view. It's not very exciting. But you could turn this into, so Freeman, you could turn this into a spreadsheet in a sense, where you can add tags and links and say, okay, I want to call some of these. Let's see, I've got a couple more lists here. All recipe, let's go to table view. This is all the same information. It's just different ways to look at it. So in this example, I added another category, or recipe name, which is the page name, the URL, which is the recipe link. And then I added a category. And so I've got this one's dinner, right? Here's some different ones that I've added. Dinner, breakfast, right? You can tag these how you want. And then when you tag them, I've got one where I've said, okay, just give me all of the breakfast ones that have breakfast on it. And now my list comes down to the 3 that I've tagged for breakfast. It's still the same, pulling from the same information, but it's just given a different, you can create endless views of your information that way. I go back to all recipes, there's all of them again. Leslie.
So Kevin, if I wanted to create something similar to this recipes page and share it with my GetSetUp interest group, I would put it under the shared category, and then they don't need to have Notion to be able to see this, right?
That's right. Yeah.
They can see it without.
That's right. I'll give you a quick example of that. So I'm doing this accelerator program, right, with GetSetUp right now. And I created a page. This is this top one up here. This page right here I created. It's a web page in essence. And every page you can give it a name, which I called it GetSetUp Accelerator Program 2020. And you can add a cover image. You can upload them. It's connected to Splash. You can bring them in. I added this picture, and then you can add an icon if you want. You notice when you add an icon, little image here, it also puts it in front of it on your little list, which is kind of neat. So you can customize that a little bit. Okay, so then this is just text. This is a graphic that I pasted in here, another graphic. This is from, some of you know Miro. This is something I created in Miro and dropped in here as an image. These are all, well, Leslie, you've seen this, right? I've sent this out to you. Websites, these are links to go to these websites. These are all the assignments that everybody's had. That's all in there. This is a page itself of an assignment, which, that was a, I don't know, it was a Google Doc or what it was, but I put in there. And then I added all these articles, and these are articles that relate to this. So when I want to share this, all I do is I click the share button, because whenever you first create something, it's private to you only you can see it. If you want to share it, you can click share to web and copy link and let people just have the ability to see it. And you're right, they don't have to have Notion to be able to see this. Now, if you ever want somebody to be able to collaborate, like edit it with you, if you want to let them edit, then they have to use Notion, obviously. But if they're just going to read only, they can just get the link and open it up. They've got it. So they don't see anything else. They only see that one page. And I should say, if there's subpages in there, they would see those. So this is another page, but I put it in here so they would see it anyway.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a great way to share some content with people, even if they don't have Notion. That one I didn't share. So one clarifier, technically I shared that with people in the accelerator program, but it doesn't show up over here. And it's because I made it read only. If you make it editable, then it shows up over here. So they would be able to, it would be in the shared on here because they could edit it. Yeah, Lily.
Yeah, Kevin. So whichever page on the left, where you have the whole list, you have sort of horizontal triangles. Okay, so when you open them, open it, so all of those things are in that page. Is that what that? So you can.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes, that's right. Yes.
In the house, it's more for mommy to clean up.
If you open that one, okay, so if you open Kevin's dashboard.
Yeah.
And
All
then
of
you
these
open-
pages they're on there in that page somewhere. Yes, that's right.
I don't mean to be prying into your personal records, but so if you open another one of these okay, so journal, anyone, whenever you're comfortable. So
let's
if
do
you,
this one. That one.
okay, so there's nothing inside of that folder, of that page.
This one has more in it. Yeah, this one had more in it.
So all of these are individual pages. Okay, like
Yes.
the brain dump.
Yeah, right.
View demand. Okay.
So you can, I mean, it can.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the architecture.
It's whatever you want it to be. Yeah, whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
Mine's a little messy, I would admit. Mine's a little messy right now, but
No, my Evernote's messy. I thought when I move it, I thought I'd clean it up.
Right. Okay, so that's that. So let's go back to let's see, help. Let's see, see who else is some other people who have joined us. Leslie, you have another question?
Just real quick, you mentioned on one of them that you borrowed someone else's or you copied someone else's.
Yeah,
Like if I wanted to see how someone else did something like blogging, how they kept track of their blog posts, how would I do that?
That's a good question. All right, so let's go to this. Part of the reason mine gets messy is because I keep using it as my demo as I go along here. Oh, I think in here, all right, here's this new page we did. All right. So in here, there's templates, just like, we talked about in Canva, right? Templates. Click on templates, and it has a whole bunch of stuff you can get ideas from over here. Here's a blog post. I mean, that doesn't show you a whole lot. That's just a bunch of text. But if you wanted to do that's product management. Those are personal. They've got, let's see what's in here. One thing, this personal wiki thing is kind of an interesting idea, or personal home, or life wiki. Let's do this. Life wiki. So you create a page like this. So Lily, this is one way that you could just say, okay, I just want one page that's visible. It's called my life wiki, or whatever you want to call it. And you put your little quote on there, and then you create some headings, and then you've got your different sub pages in here. Right. And you can kind of, this will be your jumping off place, your dashboard, if you will. So if you want to go look at your goals, you click on that and it opens up goals. This is a Kanban board, which some of you are used to. If you ever use Trello, right, you can drag things from one section to another, move them around. So all of these templates, which are all kinds of them in here, you can use this template, and what it will do is it'll create a page like this on your account. Watch, use this, save edits or discard. Let's do discard. And in a second, it'll pop up. All right, so now I've got the life wiki on mine. Where did I put it? That's on my dashboard, because I was on my dashboard when I made it. So go back to my dashboard. It's gonna be on right over here, see? And I can drag it around and put it wherever I want. Let's say I want to put it right here. No, it's right there. So now this is mine. It's not that other person's. I can edit this and change it. Nobody else can see it except me. So
What does wiki stand for?
it's I forget the history of it. It's kind of your, Wikipedia is kind of the encyclopedia of things, and
okay, I got it. Okay,
a wiki is just a term. I forget that I think it's Hawaiian or something for something. I don't know what I forget what it was. There's some meaning to it.
Okay, I got it in terms of sort of global.
Yes. And then you can come in and you start it, make this your own. This is my favorite quote, and I want to change my cover. So I click change cover and go to Unsplash. And let's say I want something about the beach. I love the beach. This is nice. Grab that one. You can also move it around, reposition it. Say I want to see more of the sky or the palm trees. I can change this little guy by clicking on it. You can upload an image if you have a logo. You can also grab something that's in there. Now it's there. So you see how quick it is to move things around. To make columns, this is 3 columns. Everything starts out in 1 column. If you want to make it in multiple columns, you can grab it. Let's say I grab this guy and I come to the very end of it. You see the blue lines? Now it's going to add a 4th column. Do that. Let's say this guy, we move him up here to the edge, right? And we want to highlight these 2 guys. We can move them underneath there. So you can move things around all you want. It's all customizable there. Okay, let's go back to the idea of clipping something. All right, so clipping something in my notebooks. Let's assume under travel and vacation, I've got all these articles I found that I like, okay? But let's assume in my, I use Flipboard to read a lot of articles. Let's go share. So we want Notion and Chrome. Let's do it this way right here, okay? All right, so let's go to vacation. Let's say I'm on a website that's got a vacation ideas. Go there and we find an article. Let's say we're going to go to Zion. That's a nice place. Go to Zion. All right, so let's say I got this article that I like, okay? And I say, okay, I don't really maybe have time to even read this right now, but I want to save this article for later, or I want to, a lot of times I'm finding articles about GetSetUp that I want to use for teaching or something. So I'm going to put them into a GetSetUp folder. But in this case, we want this article to go into my travel notebook, if you will. I've got a page called travel. So I'm going to come up here. I've already installed this extension up here. It's a web extension. It works on any browser. I'll show you the link in a minute. It's a little Notion icon. Click on this and it says, okay, what workplace do you want to put it in? I have several of them, but I know that my travel one is in here. And it grabs the name of the article and it says, where do you want to add this? What page do you want this to go into? So I wanted to go to travel. So I'm going to search travel. And okay, so I've got several pages on this. How about travel vacation notebook? Okay, so that's good. And I hit save page. And what it does is it throws it in there automatically. So now if I go in here, right, look, it's already there. I'll click away. See, it added it to the top of my list. So I open this up. It's going to bring the article in a second, but the link from the original article is right there. And it'll bring the content in a minute. Pretty nice, right? That's the list view. Again, you can go gallery view and it grabs a picture from each one of them. So you have more of a visual view. Okay, you can add as many views as you want. It's your information. You can view it any way you want.
Kevin, can you show how you would add a category tag to that?
Yeah. So let's go back into Notion here, and I'm in the list view right now. Let me add one more view, and it's called table view. So let's give it a name, table view, and I want it to be a table format. I hit done. And I can say, okay, this is fine. I'll leave this like that. That's good. Okay, close this. All right, so now this is, who is my, Freeman's my spreadsheet person. Okay, so now we've got the name of the page. We've got the date it was created. That's automatically, that's another column. Tags, we don't have anything in here now, but we could change this. Let's say, let's rename this to be, let's see, region. Let's call it a region category. And I could, what type of field is this? And you've got text, number, single select, multiple select, date, person, files, media, check marks, URLs. You can do some formulas, all these kind of things, okay? You pull it in from other databases even that you've got. So we're gonna do a multi-select, which is good. And let's add some options. So let's say North America. Add another one, South America. You make it whatever these, whatever you want to be. Europe. All right, that's enough. Okay, so those are all there, and I just click off of it, and now this is got a region. So if I can click on this guy here, I can come in here and type select North America, and it's in there, right? Let's see, beaches. This is probably North America. Click that in there. This is another Zion, North America. All right, so now 3 of those have region, right? The other field, this is another type I put in here. This is a website. That's what I added that before. This is the original link I got. It pulled that from when I posted it, when I clipped it. And you can order these around. You can change these orders if you want. But now that you've got this information, you can filter and sort this information. So I think I've got it sorted by created date, and I want it to be descending, not ascending. So the most recent's on top, which it is, okay? But now let's say I want a view to say, let me just show me the North America views, right? So I click add new view, and I call this one North America list, okay? And I hit done. Okay, now I've created it, and now I need to filter this. I want to filter it by region, and I want to select North America. So anything that matches that, it's going to show up right here. So now you go to the list view. This is all of them. I go to my North America list that I made. Here's just the 3 that I've just tagged as North America. So you can get as creative as you want with this, as far as adding fields and sorting and grouping and that type of thing. All right, does that help, Leslie?
Yes, thank you.
Good. All right, let's go back to the clipping one. Did who was it? It was, where is she? Linda, did that help you on the clipping? Here it is.
Somewhat.
Here's the link to get
Is
to
there a
that.
way to copy notes from when they put it up on Zoom and put it into your system?
Yeah.
On the, just here.
All right. So you're getting it from email?
No, I want to get it from when they're putting the presentation up. They like there's bullet list or the type of things, and I'd like to remember those. And so a way to capture it, because they say they're going to send a notes, and sometimes they don't come through like that.
So you're saying like during the presentation, they're doing their slides. Do you want to capture that?
Yes.
Do you use a PC or a Mac?
PC.
Do you know how to do a screen capture?
Yeah, I have the screen thing. I just put that, and I can put that on the Word, and upload it to Word. Because I do some things on the internet.
You wouldn't have to. You could just screen capture, and it'll put it in. It'll put it in its clipboard, and then you can go to your page. Let's assume. Let's go back to one of our other pages that I had. It's in the dashboard, right? Put it right here. Okay. So down here, let's say in this page, down here. I'm trying to get to this. All right, let's do another page. If I come down here and I do another page, class notes. Oops. A little shortcut is to use that forward slash, and you get all the things you can turn this entry into, whether you're doing a heading or you're doing a page or just typing text. So I want a new page. So I hit page, and this is GSU class notes. And in here, you just click there, and let's say this is Notion class, and you wanted to, I might do it something like, if you use that little arrow space right there and a space, it turns it into these toggles, which allows you to expand and collapse. Now let's assume that I was sharing, let's go back to my slides. Okay, I'm using, I share this slide and I use my screen capture. I use Snagit, but you can use whatever screen capture you want. And I go and I just scan that page or that slide that I wanted. It puts it into my clipboard. Most screen captures do. They throw it in your clipboard. And then you can go to wherever you want to paste it and then just paste it. And there's the slide. Would that work for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you just do screen capture whatever part of the screen you want and then paste it in here and you got it. Yeah, I do that when I'm in other classes or meetings and I'm like, oh, I want that. So I just screen capture it and paste it in my notes right here.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The Clipper thing works really well on the phone too. If you have Notion installed on your phone, you don't have to install anything else. When you're reading an article in any other app, you want to save it, hit the share button, pull up Notion, tell it what notebook or what page to go to, and it'll throw it in there for you. So I capture a lot from my phone as well. All right, let's talk about importing from Evernote. So down here, you've got import on the bottom left. You click import, it'll import from all of these different sites, programs. Click Evernote. Obviously, you have to have an account. See if I can figure this out. I'm gonna log in. Give me a second to find this. Back. All right, Evernote, email, okay. Continue, password, there it is. Okay, it's connecting to my Evernote account. It's reauthorized, okay. All right, so now when you click on, when it connects, okay, it connected. I can click on Evernote and it brings up all of my stacks and all of my notebooks. See all that? Let's assume I wanted to bring in, all right, you see how many notes are in each one? All right, this one's just got 2. So let's just pick that one. So again, you can be selective on what you want to pick to bring in. So I'm just going to pick that in and I'm going to hit import. Importing 2 notebooks from Evernote into Notion. All right, there they are. Where did they go? Okay, so here they are. It's that one and that one. It puts them right on your top of your favorites here. Now I don't want it. And notice this is the note here. This one had, each one had 1 note in it. All right, you open it up. This had, I guess that stack had two notes, but it brings everything in. There wasn't much in those. And there's all this stuff. So it's got all the content from the note is in here. But then you can move this stuff. You wanted to move it to personal. Another thing that's kind of neat is you can open up another window of Notion. So you go to open your menu, new window. And now you can see I've got 2 of these open. And I can go over here to my notebooks. All right. And if I want, I think I can do this. Let's see. Let's see if I go to this one. Yeah, now let's say I want to throw this in here under. Back, and I'm trying to find a right place to put it so I don't throw it away. Let's say I just want to throw it on the bottom of this. I think I can grab this. It's not gonna let me go to the page there, I guess. No. You can get 3 dots up here and you can hit move to. You tell it where you want it to go. I'm just going to delete this one. So that's how easy it is to bring it in. I tried not to bring much of anything of that, any value in. So delete, delete. Okay, those are off. But that's how you do it. Import, connect to your account when it pops up here. Why aren't you opening? Import. There we go. When you're connected, you can pick your content to bring in, and it brings it in. And then you can, decide where you want it to go. Now it's going to bring it in. It's going to bring it and throw it on your private page, and you just decide where you want to organize it. Okay. All right. The third, Lily, is that helpful?
Yeah. So just to reiterate, just so I can get it conceptually. So when it brings it in, regardless of what we call it, in Notion, there's no such thing as a notebook. It's just pages.
Right. Yeah.
Pages.
Yeah.
And on a page, you can basically do all sorts of things.
Yes. Right. Yeah. I think it's going to create a page, one page, one page was the notebook, and inside that notebook were the notes, is what it did.
Right. I think I get it.
That's how it brought it in.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's that. All right. Let's do project management. Okay, Leslie, this is a way there's people who do this really elaborately out there. One approach, Leslie, is to create a page for each project and then put everything in each of that, put all your different pieces in that page. I kind of do that here. Like when you go to GetSetUp, right? This is there's a lot in here. I mean, these things jumping off pieces go to a lot of places. But I have a history then too, which is nice. It's like, these are notes on stuff when I created classes. These are notes from calls, right? All hands calls, meetings I've had, appointments I've had. This one is really elaborate because it's all of the articles that I've clipped for the past couple of years that I may have interest in again, right? And all the contents there. This is stuff I just curated, right? But it's still under GetSetUp. Now there's that. But you look at, not this one. Let's go to, let me try to show you, I'm trying to show you something without giving away too much information on stuff. You could, let's do this. Let's come in and create, let's go back here and we create a Leslie's, oops, this is a page. Leslie's projects. It'll all be on one page, right? And in here, you could do it like this, where you had, I don't know, you make these toggles if you wanted to. Project one, space here. Okay, there's project one. And I could copy this, duplicate it, duplicate it. So, and then just change, 3, 4. Okay. And then in here, I could add a table, create an inline database of all the information that you want in here if you wanted. Database inline, here we go. Inline, which means it doesn't open a whole nother page. You could create a whole nother page, but this keeps it inside this page. So this is project one, and this would be, I don't know, let's say you have, you want to call this the client name. That's unique to that one, and it's a text, it's type, okay. And then here you want it to be another property, another field that is scope of work. And that's text also. Then you add another one, you can add as many as you want. This one is graphic files. And this type of field is going to be files and media. And one more we're going to call status. And this one, we want it to be select. It can only be one thing. So we're going to say concept in process. Okay, so you got that. So we've got this, and now we can come in here and what was the first field? It was supposed to be client name. Obviously, make these whatever you want. It already exists. Where are you? Where'd you go? One thing, sometimes when you these 3 dots over here, you can change this to 3 different fonts, but you can go full width and small text, and it helps more stuff fit on here. Because sometimes it doesn't all fit on there. And you can close this sidebar so it all fits in here. All right, so I got 2 of these. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Delete him. All right, so we got rid of scope. Okay, so now we come in here and we say this is Bill, and this is George, Sue, and this, oops, Sue, and one more. Okay, and the status, this one is in process, this one is in process, this one's concept, and this one's complete, let's say. Okay, but let's say you want to add some graphic files. You click on here and you can upload file from your computer. So like here's a small little file that goes in there. Okay, you can add another one, choose a file. Let's say it's a PDF. Okay, those are both in there. So you can stack up a bunch of files in here and see what they're all in here. And say, hey, I don't want that to be there. I want it to be last. And I want to change the width of this. Right. And then, you know, maybe you want to filter this by, filter or group it by, we don't have enough for groups yet, but you can filter it, you know, create a new filter. Status is complete. Okay, so now it's just showing the complete ones. Change this back to in process, then you see the in process ones. And you can, so those are different filters. You can add, you got another view where you want it to be in a board, say in a board view. So you see how it put it automatically? It took the different tags and it put them into these categories. So if I move Bill back to complete, then it'll update Bill's record and put it in there.
Can you add a calendar to it if there's things that have to happen on certain days?
Yeah, yep. So let's do another field. Let's say this field is, where did he go? Where am I? It's project due date. What am I? Hold on. It just keeps going down. I don't need that. I'm in there. Let me go back to my table view. Let's do it this way. Due date. And we change this field to a date. So that's there. And now we have a calendar. We can say that's due that day. George, his is due here. And this one was done back here. Okay. Now you can change another view. Now you want a calendar view. So you click on calendar, hit done, and Ron, Bill. I think the other one's next month. We got next month. There's George. And if you changed it, It automatically changes for him. So when you go back to table view, the date changed to what you moved it to.
Oh, thanks. That's very helpful. Thank you, Kevin.
So lots of different ways you can do projects. You can do it, you know, the beauty of it I like is that the data is there and then you change how you want to look at it. You want to look at it like that, you want to look at it like that. You decide how you want to look at it. And you decide what the data you want to have captured that you put in there. So everybody, thank you for being a part of class.